Welcome in to the CHGO Bears Podcast after Family Fest on a Sunday with my guy Herb Howard from It's the Bigs, with my guy Nicholas Moreano, with my guy Greg Braggs, with the most important person here, his mother Barb. We are live from studio today, which is a great feeling, and I've been waiting for this moment all day because that would mean that we had made it through the Family Fest, which I know a ton of people enjoyed. It is always great to see a ton of Bears fans out there, especially the kids wearing the jerseys, waiting in the lines, getting to meet the players. It takes me back to my youth when I was showing up at Chicago Stadium wanting to meet Granville waiters, not to date myself. But, gentlemen, I'm going to start out hot here. We saw it today. We saw Justin Fields in the 2-minute drill. We saw him go back to pass. We saw DJ Moore running an out route. We saw before he came out of his break, the ball in the air. DJ then turns. The ball's right there. He catches it right at the boundary. That's NFL. You can't do it better than that football. I've been waiting for it, and we got to see it today.
That's what you want. That's what you want. You want to see that kind of timing, that kind of rhythm, in rhythm, on time, getting the ball out with great accuracy, which Justin does not struggle with when he has time. When he's got the time and he's in rhythm, accuracy is never his issue. He got that ball out on time, he's extremely accurate with it. DJ catches it, toe tap, out of bounds. Those are the things you're going to need when it's 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. Can I go to my number one guy for a quick out route, be on time, and get the ball in?
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see from Justin Fields, for him to take that next step in year 3. And you have DJ Moore, who's going to get open. He's going to run precise routes at the right landmarks and make his cut. The ball just needs to be there. And on that particular throw, Herb, we were sitting right next to each other. Yeah. We're like, that's a good throw. That's exactly what you want to see from Justin Fields, right on the money. Before DJ Moore's even coming out of his break, the ball's there. You know he's going to catch it. First down. So that's exactly what you want to see from QB1.
NFL level stuff, man.
We saw it, too, as far as the Fields Moore connection getting in the end zone, which was also super enjoyable. I liked it because he's looking around, and a little more time today than he's going to have in a regular season game, but he's looking around, and finally he hits DJ coming across, and DJ takes it in the end zone. It's like, oh, there's a security blanket out there that he has not had. So, when the shit's hitting the fan, okay, where's 2? Let me find him. I think, and that happened a little bit today, which at least one time getting in the end zone, which I also liked.
Well, and then that play too, like you said, Mark, Justin did have a lot more time on that throw, but DJ Moore adjusts his route too. Like, he's running this crossing route, he sees Fields, and then comes back to the football. I don't know exactly who was in coverage on the play, but it's a great catch by DJ Moore, and he adjusts to Justin's throw. So again, we're just seeing the different levels of the chemistry that 1 and 2 are showing 10 practices in now.
You can tell they're starting to speak the same language, right?
Yep.
Non-verbally, they're starting to speak the same language. They're communicating, with their body language. He can see what Justin wants. Justin can see where he's going to be, and he's able to throw him open. He's able to route himself to be open. And so that connection is real. It's not just something that we're talking about. It's very, very real. It's tangible. You can see it on the field. You can see it turning into first downs and touchdowns.
Braggs, do you want to talk on the show today? How you doing over there, buddy?
I'm scrambling, but yeah, we're doing good. I'm always down to talk on the show. I thought it was a good day. I thought it was a little up and down, but the thing that I think stood out early on was with it being as wet as it was and the one-on-ones, Justin Fields was putting it on the money. Yeah. They were well defended at times, or the receiver just couldn't come down with it, but Justin Fields, I thought, through – even if they weren't completed passes, I thought there were some dime balls.
No, on the one particular rep where you had DJ Moore actually being covered by Terrell Smith, Terrell Smith had good coverage on it. DJ Moore runs a good route, ball's right where it needs to be. DJ Moore catches it right at the goal line for the pylon, and that's what you want, man. It was a good rep from Terrell Smith, which you love to see from the rookie. Mm-hmm. Another good rep from DJ and Justin.
To be honest, I wasn't loving his day until the back end of the day. Like, there was just – it felt a little bit wobbly, and people that I've been talking about, who like Crystal's in the stands, like, oh, Carm, I see what you're talking about, where you're seeing a lot of Fields waiting for somebody to get open, and then the ball's coming out, and sometimes it's late, sometimes it's off target. But I thought again, underlining at the back end of the practice, I thought it looked great, and it does. When I'm trying to take a step back here too, it's like he has never played in a game with DJ Moore. Not even a preseason game. He's barely played with Chase Claypool. That connection, that chemistry, that whatever, them being on the same wavelength, that's got a ways to go too. So it's like maybe I'm just getting a little too expecting of this like incredible timing thing that they need when it's just not realistic to have quite yet.
Yeah, it takes time on task. You guys got to be on the field together. You got to run a lot of routes. They got to get, they got a few hundred reps together. Wait till they get a few thousand reps together, then what that looks like. But I got to give it a huge shout out before I go any further to Chase Claypool, man. 10 straight practices, full participant. That, as much as anything else I've seen from him, is giving me great optimism for what he could potentially be in this offense this year.
Yeah, it's encouraging to see him out there because, again, in the regular season last year, we didn't get a chance to really see what Chase Claypool is capable of, and these last couple of practices, he's coming into his own. Yeah. You know, he's starting to get more looks. Justin's starting to target him a little bit more, and we know he's got that fire and energy to him as well. So it's good to see that from Chase Claypool. I know we're talking about throws on time from Justin Fields. I thought one where he had it to Cole Kmet was a third down play. They're at the 12-yard line. It's a 3rd and 5, but it was a ball that was thrown on time right into Kmet. He scores a touchdown right as he's turning around. So there are a couple of throws that we've seen that are he doesn't have to be exactly open, turned around, and Fields is waiting for him. It's kind of happening instantaneously, and that's something that we hadn't seen consistently from Fields and some of the receivers. So it was good to see that rep from Cole Kmet to get into the end zone today as well.
And rewinding back to the Herb Claypool, because I just saw a comment there. It's good to see Herb coming around Claypool. You've been putting out you've been putting out your post practice tweet every day saying about your Claypool meter.
Yeah, I got a Chase Claypool meter that I've been running all camp long, just about my belief in him being a major contributor in this offense this season. And I'll be honest with you, it started at like 51%. And I was really on the edge about it, and I just wanted to lean towards the positive more than negative. And then he's consistently gone up on a daily basis, sometimes 2%, 3%, 4%, or whatever. But I think just consistently stacking those good days, like I said, him being a full participant in all these practices as much as anything else, but also making some of those key catches. He had a big catch the other day in practice where he took the drag across the middle about 12 or 15 yards, snatched it, split the defense, hit the sideline. He may have actually scored on that play in a real game. And so you see some of those things as he just continues to develop that chemistry with Justin. So,
yeah, Herb. I think we might be starting a little rivalry on Twitter because I know you were subtweeting me when you were the other day at practice when I was gassing up Claypool on the timeline because
major cap, but we can address that though. You know what I mean?
Well, and this is fine because we've talked about this on the show, and Mark and Adam have pushed back on me as far as who is the star of camp so far. I understand DJ Moore is a better wide receiver than Chase Claypool. The numbers have shown that.
Sure.
The resume shows that. But to me, Chase Claypool in the first week of camp has shined brightest, and that was where I stood on it. And then I see your Chase Claypool meter, and people asking you, well, other people are saying that Chase is doing great, obviously referring to me gassing up the timeline, and you were kind of like, okay, well, I'm not there. So I can tell we got a little rivalry.
I do want to start Twitter beef with you, so let's just go ahead and kick that off. But to be clear, Herb does not subtweet. Herb will at you, no problem. No problem. But I will say this though, you're tripping. Okay, you're talking about he's been dominating camp. I was watching that show like Braggs. Stop lying to your people. Okay, I know you're like president of the Meathead Club and all that. And they love it.
Island, baby.
I love it. I'm here for it. But he's not dominating camp. I will say this though. He is the most pleasant storyline of camp because the Bears need him to be really good, and he has been maybe surprisingly good. He has been what the Bears need him to be, and so I will say that he has been the most pleasant storyline of camp, but dominating camp, that's just not true.
I guess where I'd push back just a little bit, and we talked a little bit about this on the last show, but even today, where they tried to go deep a few times to guys in 11-on-11s, obviously one-on-ones they connected a couple times, but in other camps where we finally have some kind of talent at wide receiver that Bears teams typically don't, normally you see a lot of home run balls at training camp, and this year you're just not seeing that much. Sure. Tyler Scott has the one home run ball that stands out. Other than that, everything has been underneath, checkdowns, and that's great because I know Justin Fields needs to work on that. But in that regard, Chase, I think, has shown a different array of catches, whether it be, using his body to post up or, mossing Jalen Johnson over the top or coming across and doing all these different things. We all know DJ Moore has this speed and separation, can find spots in soft zones, but I just feel like Chase Claypool has shown more in his arsenal, and we haven't gotten to see the total package of DJ Moore yet because of the home run ball lacking.
Chase is the one receiver in that entire group that provides something that the other ones don't. You can't coach, you can't teach 6'4", 230.
Right.
Nobody else is that guy. Nobody else has that kind of ability to compete for those 50-50 balls, to box guys out in the red zone or on third downs. He has a different kind of skill set with those guys, so you're 100% correct on that. I'm with you.
Real quickly, this comment right here, Greg, Javen Terry. Claypool is definitely wide receiver 2 now. We in agreement with that? Is he taking a step over Darnell Mooney? I would think as of late, maybe Claypool's made more plays than Mooney, but is he definitively wide receiver number 2 on this Bears roster?
We are not going there until we see actual games. I refuse to I'm not going to take Mooney out of the 2 hole. However,
I don't think it matters.
That's true too.
We are very much tomato. That they're both gonna be getting the ball a bunch. But if you're gonna say who's number 2 right now as far as who's gotten the second most balls at camp,
yeah, it's Moon.
Well, Moore won, but who's number 2 as far as pure targets?
And they're still ramping up Mooney.
Maybe Cole. If you're talking about just the receivers, though.
We could throw Komet in there, sure.
Well, I think this is a good discussion. I mean, right here, is it Komet? Is it Moore? Or is it Mooney? Is it Claypool? There's a discussion for it.
That's the good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
This time last year, you had about 15 guys, and you couldn't find 6 receivers that you wanted on the roster. Now you got the ball being spread around. DJ's your number 1. Cool. But then you have a conversation about who's your number 2 receiver, how many balls is Cole getting. You also see Robert Tonyan catching a lot of balls. The running backs are getting balls out of the backfield. The ball's being spread around a lot right now, and I think that's what you want to see from Justin Fields in this offense right now. I don't think it matters, Chase or Mooney, who's 2 or 3. Ideally, Chase will do a really, really good job. He can be on the outside, and you can match up Mooney in the slot against, nickel corners and outside linebackers. If you can set up some mismatches, safeties, that would be ideal, and let Moon cook those dudes all year.
Yeah, you're going to need them both, and I think, again, they should have – if I had to guess on yardage numbers, I bet you they're within 200 of each other by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
That'd be ideal.
My favorite moment from Chase Claypool today, which doesn't need to be talked about, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. When he came out of the tunnel today, I don't know if you guys noticed this. Did you see this?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So he comes out of the tunnel. Everyone's getting introduced. He comes out. He runs all the way down to the other end of the field, gets to the goal line, gets down on one knee, starts doing Sunday prayer. He's in prayer for, longer than I've ever been to Temple. This guy, he was giving a full effort.
So not one of those just ceremonious, symbolic type things,
no,
right?
He was in it. He was in it.
Okay.
He was asking for something, or he was saying thank you for something, and then he got up.
Give me the strength not to whoop Eddie Jackson ass today.
Right. That might have been what it was. God, I'm really sorry that I overreacted and took that helmet and flung it and stepped on Tyreek Stevenson's mouth guard and did all that. It wasn't the best me. I promise to be better today, God. That could have been in there, but he was like, it felt like it was a regular season game prayer, not just a Sunday, family fest situation.
He seems like he only knows one way. He seems like once he gets his cleats on the grass, he's just the same guy all the time. I think he went a little too far yesterday. I think Bojack went a little too far yesterday. Not on the hit, but just how they just kept that thing going for a long time. I think they both went a little bit too far. I love Bojack. I love him, his leadership and his play. I just like the type of dude he is. I do not think he wants to chase Claypool smoke.
There's a size difference there.
I just don't think. And Bojack a tough dude. I don't think he can't fight. I just don't think he wants that smoke.
Yeah, the video may or may not have been floating around the World Wide Web of Twitter last night, and I finally did get to lay my eyes on it. The hit was not that hard. No. He didn't go to the ground, Eddie, on Chase, but he shouldn't have done it. So I can understand why Chase got hot. I can see where Eddie's coming from. Hey, I'm trying to get in game mode. We're tackling. We got pads on. But at the same time, as a teammate and a guy that has had injuries here that he's rehabbing through coming back. True, and, we're all trying to win games here this year. If you're on this team, I can understand why Chase took exception to it. But I hope they can just shake on it, and be done with it when practice is over, and I'm assuming they did.
I don't think Bojack was wrong. I don't think he was right either.
Right.
Like
Exactly,
either
yeah.
way, he could have not done it. He chose to do it. I'm fine with him choosing to do it as well. Chase didn't like it, threw the ball at him. They get to it. Chase snatches his helmet off. But I'm to your point that you've been making ever since it happened. If it's Moon, I don't think it happens.
Correct.
I don't think
No,
he pops
yeah.
Moon on the sideline like
Yeah.
that.
No. That
Or
was
DJ. I don't think
okay.
he pops DJ like that
Yeah,
either.
Yeah.
And to give Bojack a little bit of, he's not, Chase Claypool's not, whatever, Rob Gronkowski, but big
He's
dude.
bigger than
He's a big
Bojack.
dude.
He's
Yeah.
bigger than Bojack. He's bigger than, and so he could choose to not put his body in that position. Like, well, no, I'm going to hit you. Maybe the two of them should, head on over to the Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary and, chill out a little bit here. Sunnyside is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping. It's a place where all kinds of visitors, like a couple of bears, are welcome to explore, discover, purchase a wide array of high-quality products. The Mindy's is the best-tasting gummy and chocolate edibles created by James Beard award-winning chef Mindy Siegel and Cresco Labs. I mean, I'm telling you, they're not playing around here. They're good news. The gummies and the rechargeable vape pen, High Supply, which offers quality weed that helps you sleep as well. They got all the stuff. There's the Florical, the Wonder, the Remedy. Check it out. There's definitely a flavor for everybody. And through August, if you go to sunnyside.shop, use the code CHGO25 at checkout. You're going to get 25% off your total order. One use per customer. It's not stackable with other promotions. This is not only for new customers, by the way. If you've somehow gone to Sunnyside in the past and you haven't used this current promotion, you can use it again one time. So pick up everything you need to elevate your summer. You'd have to be 21 or over or an Illinois Med card holder. The website, once again, sunnyside.shop, sunnyside.shop. Use that promo code CHGO25.
Check out Sunnyside, you guys, and you also have to check out Circle K. We are so excited to partner with our friends at Circle K. You can check out your local Circle K for the best coffee, beer, and snack selection, and, of course, premium gas. So, and also look out for the freebies, the giveaways down the road. They always have them there at Circle K. So if you're looking for the best deal you've ever gotten, again, those pickups that the essentials you need when you're going to Soldier Field, going on a road trip, you have to stop by at Circle K. They got you covered over there. But again, just want to say thank you to Circle K for sponsoring CHGO. Visit the nearest Circle K to pick up all your favorite finds.
All right, let's go to the defensive side of the ball.
Before
Yes,
we do, let's get a nice clean effort on our best and worst. We'll go around the horn and get our best and worst. We're gonna. I'm gonna look at the producer's gonna get you ducks in a row. It's all good. We had to break some bread with Herb and get our Claypool debate out of the way. But let's do best and worst. We'll start around the horn and work our way back.
Best of the day is how I started the show. The best of the day today was Justin Fields hitting DJ Moore in stride on and out pattern that would play in every single game they play all season long. That was my best. My worst is the piling up of injuries, which we've been talking about. Tremaine Edmonds being joined by Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon and Dylan Cole, another linebacker, was out today. It is a long list. In the middle of practice today, Lucas Patrick ended up leaving. So nobody's out for a long time, according to Matt Eberflus, but the list is getting longer. Herb, you're up. Best and worst.
Best of the day, it was Family Fest, obviously, and I love the family touch that the players put on the press conference after practice. We talked to DJ Moore. We talked to Justin Jones. They both brought their daughters to the press conference, took them up to the podium with them.
That was
Thought
adorable.
they were very adorable. DJ Moore's daughter, she's like talking, hey, and then the cameras come on, she's like, so I thought that was really adorable. That was the best thing I saw today. Those guys bringing their daughters to the post practice press conference. Worst thing I saw today was being back up in the press box, getting that bird's eye view, and kind of seeing down on every single play. I could watch more intently Javon Dexter, and his get off was just slower. It's slower. I've been waiting to see him, in pads and what it looks like and how much he has or has not improved in terms of that get off. We talked a lot about that in the spring at University of Florida. He was not asked to get off the ball that way. He was asked to kind of read and react. And, the thought was he just needed to get rid of those old habits and then he'll be fine. Today, it was consistent again. He was often the very last person off the ball. And, at this level, that just won't play. I asked Coach Eberflus about that in the press conference after practice, and he says, listen, he's strong enough to win when he's wrong sometimes, but if he wants to be elite, He has to be more consistent with that get off, and he has to play with better pad level. Watching him come off the ball slow consistently all practice long was the worst thing I saw today.
I want to make it quick because we want to touch on that part real quick again. My best, I mentioned it earlier, is the touchdown throw to Cole Kmet. I think that's something you're going to see hopefully often this upcoming season, on time, in rhythm, and it's just a red zone threat for Justin Fields and team drills. And then my worst, it's been a couple of days now for P.J. Walker and the interceptions, the bad throws. He had one where he was trying to target Tyler Scott over the middle of the field. Josh Blackwell gets an easy interception, just breaks on the ball, gets a pick on P.J. Walker. So you want to see that unit be a little bit better. Yeah. And we saw some penalties with the second-team unit going against the first-team defense. See the interception, so that's my worst. But what you mentioned there, Herb, about the get-off with Javon Dexter, as soon as you mentioned that, that's like what I was trying to just watch for the rest of practice using these military-grade binoculars that I have.
You got it.
But he's a step slow off the ball. There was a rep when Lucas Patrick was still in practice where because he's late, Lucas Patrick's driving him back. And look, Javon Dexter's a big dude. It shouldn't happen. But Lucas Patrick's driving him back, and even the running back on the play, Deontay Foreman, bounced off of Lucas Patrick because he had that guy in front of him. But it's something that we were talking about, if he's on the goal line,
exactly,
that's a liability.
Exactly.
If you're coming off slow off the goal line,
that's
you're not going to be on the field.
Yeah.
So that's something that Javon Dexter, obviously, like you just highlighted, in Florida, he wasn't asked to do that, but it does. We need to see some improvements and see some more consistency with it.
And to be clear, I'm not down on the kid. I don't think he's not going to be a good player. But the Bears, if they hope for him to be like that elite level that Coach Eberflus was talking about, he has to clean that up. He does have that kind of brute strength. We also noticed him dog walk Tevin Jenkins right into the backfield. So we saw that too. He has that kind of raw ability, but he's going to have to combine it with technique, good pad level, leverage, and get off of the ball, Javon Dexter. It is right in your face.
If he had an elite get-off, he would never have fallen to 53 in the draft.
No.
Good point.
With that size and that athletic ability. So, I don't want to call it a project, but it's a little bit of a project.
Sure.
Yeah, my best certainly has got to be DJ Moore on the final play of the game because I'm with Carm for today. I really thought it was an up-and-down day for the first-team offense and Justin Fields. They connected on some things, and then there were overthrows. But that final play really just illustrated just how great DJ Moore can be. The cornerback was stuck all over him. Justin Fields made a tight window throw, but the catch was even better. It was almost basically like a one-handed catch. So,
great catch.
Yeah, it was amazing. And it was a perfect way to finish the day, and you almost feel like they weren't leaving until they had something like that. My worst is, I'm right there with you, Nick. QB2, obviously not the biggest of concerns. We're worried about QB1. But P.J. Walker, who impressed me early on, gripping and ripping in 7-on-7s, every throw now it seems like is an overthrow. Every single throw. He doesn't miss short. Everything is long. And it's hard for any of these guys on the second team to get a quality rep because he's not, I saw somebody in the chat say, I don't care about QB2. Well, he's throwing to Tyler Scott. He's throwing to guys that are going to try to make plays this year. And P.J. Walker likely will get reps, when the season starts. So it does matter to an extent, and it does matter for these wide receivers trying to catch the ball. So I need P.J. Walker to put it a little more on the money, take a little juice off of it.
We know how Justin Fields plays this game. The backup quarterback is going to play at some point in this season. Now, we hope maybe it's just coming in the middle of a game, but I bet that he's probably going to get a start or two or maybe more at some point in this season. You need him to come in and be serviceable, and he's got to clean up some things.
And I do wonder if
he's got great arm talent though.
Yeah.
I like the way he spins it.
Arm,
can we get a backup QB competition going on once with the preseason games? Anybody want to go there?
Peterman?
Unlikely. Not Peterman.
No, you think bring somebody else in?
No, I'm talking about Badgett.
Oh,
Tyson Bagent.
No, I don't want to see that.
He's putting up numbers at D2 now.
Shepard.
I don't want to see that.
I think. Hopefully,
I want to see it. I'm just saying we might.
Are we going to see it?
It's not about want. I'm talking about what's going to happen.
I think that PJ also having some experience with DJ is also a factor.
No,
that's true.
I'm reaching. I don't think you're going to have a change in the 2-3. But if it's been scuffling for a couple weeks now.
I agree.
So that and as we wrap up, just sort of peeking at that defense here. The Dexter thing, what I found interesting is that you guys called it out, and then you go and you ask Flus about it, and he doesn't deny it.
Shout out to
He
Flus.
doesn't deny it. Yeah.
He doesn't deny it at all. He's got to be more consistent. So he sees it a little bit, but I mean, we're asking for, again, I'll use the same word, transformation here. We're asking you to play a completely different way. You've been in NFL training camp here this is the 10th practice. It's not, we're not even like even a quarter of the way in the sands of the hourglass in the sauna room here.
Right.
Your girl,
Hashtag I need a sauna.
Your girl, Carm, Crystal, her worst was seeing Packers fans at Soldier Field. I did come across a young lady, Chloe,
That
with
video
her
was
dad.
hilarious.
Yeah, I showed that to her.
Her
in the
dad
press box.
straight threw her under the bus, too. Rule number 1, always harass Packer fans. And last night, too.
Oh, you were getting after them.
We were having some fun with the family night for the Green Bay Packers family night
They had
training
a full
camp.
house, though.
They did, and I gave them credit for that. Bears fans,
There's nothing else to do in Green Bay.
that's
but-
the other point. But they did show out for their family night, and the team streams an entire practice. I know. Oh my gosh, giving away state secrets. And then I had a good time with the content.
Sure did.
The content never sleeps. We were breaking down Packers training camp last night, so having some fun with some Packer fans.
That does not surprise me one bit, Greg. When I saw your tweets, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
looks like Jordan Love's not having the best day.
This Packer fan goes, look at a Bears reporter, looking at Packers training camp. This is sad and pathetic. And I was like, he just called me a Bears reporter. I'm honored.
Major upgrade. But so you watched it, though. I was
Yes.
not watching that.
It's not like being, at Bears training camp where you can watch every play. They're going in and out of commercials. They're cutting to Wayne Larrivee, who's talking to all these different people. Wayne Larrivee, a traitor, breaks my heart. Love that guy, calling Bulls games as a kid. But, yeah, early on, Jordan Love looked terrible. And then as the practice went on, kind of similar to today for Fields, he finished strong. He made some nice throws where I was like, okay, for any Bears fan that thinks he's definitely a bust, I would say hold off on that. We don't know for sure.
Well, there were some national people out at practice this week covering the Bears, moving around. And I did not hear any of them talking well of how Jordan Love is playing up in Green Bay. So if you want to be a Bears fan that's optimistic that the Green Bay sucks chant is going to be an actual chant that is real, that fits the product that you see on opening day, we can go there. It's work in progress up in Green Bay all day long. I mean, I don't expect him to step in there and be lights out by any stretch of the imagination.
It can't happen again, right?
No,
they can't hit it 3 times in a row, right?
I
Jordan
hope
Love
not.
can't be a first ballot Hall of Famer, right? Like that's crazy. Like
I don't know if he's going to be good or bad. Even if he's good, though, I do know for certain that they are going to have time to find this chemistry. It's not just going to come week 1. So I think there's a big advantage there, and especially it being at Soldier Field. But I just think, we got to be careful about a complete bust. Does that mean he can be serviceable? Sure. I'm not, I don't think I've seen any signs that their greatness is coming, but I just think some Bears fans are quick to say he's definitely a
I've
bust.
just
and I don't
been
know if we're there
traumatized
yet.
by 4 and 12, and if 10 is anywhere near that, I'm going to be
don't even know.
done.
I don't think it's happening.
Yeah.
Javen Terry, seeing the chatter, who won today, offense or defense? Actually, a good question. I don't even know. Probably the defense is what I would say, but the offense had its moments.
I think
Today was-
first team. I mean,
Today had to have been a wash.
Yeah.
I
that's
agree.
fair.
I'd agree.
The first wash, right?
Yeah, some days you've seen the defense dominate for sure. Some days you've seen the offense, win. I wouldn't say but they've won some days. And today, I just don't like the fact that the defense is missing a handful of
starters.
guys. Like Jaquan's out, and Kyler's out, and Tremaine Evans is out, and DeMarcus Walker's out. It's like, sheesh.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think the last 2 plays, it's a good indicator. It is a wash. Jalen Johnson had a really nice interception on Justin Fields. I think he was trying to target DJ Moore. Greg,
No, it was Claypool.
It was Claypool.
Yeah.
The back left corner.
Yeah.
Picks that off. But the next play is that DJ Moore play we were referencing. So you see both types of plays where the defense steps up, the offense makes a play. But yeah, offense defense probably is a wash.
Great catch by Jalen, and he's talked about doing some things different out there, and I think that was an off-ball interception. He read the play. He put himself took a little bit of a larger risk, and then to get his hands on it, it was not an easy catch.
No.
I mean, that
It was a good catch, really good
receiver
play.
level catch. So
I want to see him come with those instincts more. He has them, right? It's not that he doesn't have those instincts. He just hasn't ever really been willing to take those risks. And if he's willing to actually go ahead and shoot, I think he'll win more often than not. So I hope he takes a little bit more chances this year, gets his hands on a few more footballs, because I think he has that kind of ability.
And I think it helps being in year 2 of this defense, too, where he's going to have a better understanding of what his responsibility is, but everybody else on the defense, so that he can take more of those calculated risks. And if that happens, he gets those, those turnovers in his favor, then this talk about a contract extension, it's going to go in his favor this time.
They start to snowball. You get your hands on a couple early, and then you just keep getting them. I remember Tim Jennings had that year where he had like 9. He just caught them, and he just kept catching them over and over again. It's good to see Peanut out there again, too. The great 33. Jalen Johnson obviously wears his number. It's good to see Peanut down there. Jalen had a great PBU on the end zone, down in the red zone, and he breaks on that ball perfect, gets his hand in there, wipes it away. They threw a flag, and we all thought that they were calling a pass interference on the defense. And we were like, no way. And Peanut's down there like talking to the ref like, no, that's not defensive pass interference. Turned out they were calling offensive pass interference somewhere else, but Jalen Johnson's looking good, man. I hope he continues to take those shots.
Yeah, he completely baited Justin Fields for that corner end zone. He was intending for Chase Claypool in the corner, and in the flat, Jalen Johnson was on Cole Kmet, and he baited Justin to throw that corner route, and he came off of Cole Kmet immediately and picked that thing off. That was a veteran move by Jalen Johnson.
That's that second year in the defense that nigga's talking about.
Exactly. Shout out to Charles Peanut Tillman, because that dude was so animated on all those reps. Like, there was a Josh Blackwell played really good coverage. I think it was on Isaiah Ford, and they called Blackwell for a pass interference, and you see Charles Tillman just kind of get in the ref's face playfully. He gets somebody else's hat and throws it on the ground. And he's like, how could you call that? So it was good seeing, the original 33 out there just kind of stating his case there.
If we're doing shout-outs, I'd like to go into the fan world. I saw Val in a White Fields jersey. Said hello yesterday at practice. He was dominating. So was Carlos, who was, I think, is working one of the stands. I think maybe Bears Security is a big fan of the show. So, Carlos, appreciate you saying hello. And, I want to get into some, news and notes coming up here of stuff.
And then the other shout-out. Did you see the video of Josh shouting out
earlier,
Meatball Island? I think you guys have created a monster with this Meatball Island. Now I'm hearing this a lot walking around the stadium in camp. People are like, oh, I'm on Meatball Island, too. So...
There it is.
I think you've created a monster here.
Congratulations.
I was by myself at first, like Tom Hanks on Castaway.
Meatball Island.
Well,
now we're all there.
You went out there and told everybody that Chase Claypool and Justin Fields are dominating practice.
I said, get out of here. We don't need to get into it again. I stand on what I said.
Well,
I don't care what you say.
Or
her.
It's a great island to visit. It's a great island to go chill with y'all for a few, pound a couple beers, then y'all start talking super crazy, and I get back on the boat and leave. Like,
go to Duke Island.
You had a good one today too on the Tyler Scott bobble that you guarantee that if it was in the regular season that it would be picked off, because Braggs knows you don't even need to see the game. You just have you're just such a diehard football guy that it doesn't even have to play out for you to know it.
That really wasn't that hard to decipher. He bobbled it with a guy right in his face, and he wasn't hit. Had it been a regular season game, he would have got laid out as it was being bobbled.
But you said for sure it'd be picked off. I've seen DBs drop balls. I'm just saying.
This was on a punt, you jamoke.
I understand. I'm talking about a DB playing special teams.
The gunner.
The gunner, that's his position.
All right.
Come down there, he's not a receiver, and all of a sudden that football gets in his hands and he doesn't catch it.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Just get to your notes.
I'm just saying you guaranteed the situation, and I'm just trying to,
See what I got to deal with.
But what you were right about is that Tyler Scott shouldn't be bobbling that football. That's all right.
Y'all hilarious. Y'all too. When y'all get to going at it, it's hilarious.
He brings it out of me.
I just said to watch.
You get Hogue like trying to steer this thing back on track, and then you get Nick like, nah. Nick just goes forward like Homer Simpson into the bushes like, nah, I don't have time for this. Like,
CHGO Maybe we'll have to crack a goose after this one for this last 5 minutes of the show.
After.
Well, right.
Got it right
Speak
now.
for yourself.
Herb's already out here. Supported by the Goose Island Beer Company. There you see he's got the Tropical Beer Hug. Herb's going big on a Sunday. That is a dry hopped Imperial IPA, 9.9% alcohol. That's dangerously easy to drink. We got all this in the fridge for you. 312 Wheat Ale, Full Pocket Pills, Goose IPA, all of it. Grab yourself an ultra fresh brewery exclusive beer at Goose Island's original brew house on Clybourne Avenue in Lincoln Park, or from their tap room on Fulton Street in Westtown. Goose Island Beer Company, Chicago's beer.
You also have to check out Hooters, you guys. It's your spot to catch all the games this season. Step up to their plate for world-famous wings, delicious seafood, stack sandwiches, salads, and more. Tons of great beer specials. Sure, you can get your Goose Island there. And $6 drinks all day, every day. Check out their seafood specials, $19.83 for a pound of crab legs, and great prices on buffalo and steamed shrimp. And Hooters is actually celebrating 40 years of business all year long. In honor of the anniversary, on the 4th of every month, Hooters will be hosting throwback events, bringing the 80s back with 83-cent wings and other great specials. So make sure you go check out Hooters. Have a good time, watch the game, drink some beers, eat some good wings, food. You'll have a great time at Hooters. And, you know, obviously we support it at CHGO, so that's another incentive for you to go check out Hooters.
All right, some news and notes here. The Bears signed this guy. I don't know if you heard of him, Yannick Ngakoue. And he wanted number 91. And there was Dominic Robinson out there with number 90 today. And Mercedes Lewis was given 84, so they moved
Aaron Cruikshank?
Yeah, to 87.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Oh,
Yep.
That's right, yeah.
So that all happened. And people were talking about what's Dom Rob going to get for the change of the number.
I heard everything from I heard up to $91,000 as suggestions.
Yeah. Well, I think the Bears just did it to him. You're 90, you get 84, you're 87 now. I think they just straight disrespected. That's my guess.
Somebody said, like, listen, they could have just cut him and then re-signed him a week from now. Like, give him the number or we'll take it from you. Like, we'll just cut you and bring you back next week and you can choose whatever number is left.
Yeah. I don't think he got anything. I'm gonna try to find out, but he's wearing 90.
I'm gonna ask him. What's he get for that?
I see the Duke is in here. Duke on a Sunday, my man.
Duke Island.
We got a bunch of super chats we can get to, but the Duke leading us off with a 1999er. Hey Braggs, what happened to Lawrence's prediction the Cubs would get swept by a quote real team? Also, I passed by a couple of you guys today. You're all much, much, much more attractive on screen.
Wow.
Ha ha, joke. Love
Including
you guys.
That's very mysterious. That means he was at Soldier Field?
That's weird.
That's mysterious.
Wow.
I like that, Duke.
The Duke is undercover.
The Duke is actually George McCaskey.
Could the Duke be George McCaskey?
You know, Herb,
We do know that the Duke is rich.
that's an interesting angle. That is an interesting angle.
You met George today, did you not?
Yeah. I
he
was
was talking
walking
about
by
you.
him, said hi, mentioned that Addie had broke her arm and she was over in line getting her face painted. And George, in just pure George fashion, was like, let's go see them, and had me usher him over to where my wife and daughter were getting they got their arms painted, not their face painted. And he gave her the coin. He gives every little kid, he meets them and gives them, like, pick a hand, any hand. And she got a coin, an official Chicago Bears coin from George
awesome.
Alice McCaskey.
It's not quite the stack that Irsay is giving out, but
We talked about that yesterday. I'm going to be calling Irsay out for a stack when we get down to Indy, Herb. You can bet on that. I got no shame. I'll be yelling for that grand.
It's very nice of George.
Yeah.
This is very nice of George.
very nice of the Duke.
He's moving the meter. He's moving the meter. He's moving the meter.
You're
pulling at the heartstrings.
Okay.
You know how it goes.
Yeah, okay.
Guys, I'm still stuck on this. You all are much, much more attractive on screen. Like, even me? Like, even that's messed up, man.
Y'all know Nick don't take too kindly to y'all coming to his physical appearance, man. Look at the hair. He's in the gym every day. He's got 17,000 pair of Jordan 1s. Nick don't take too kindly to this attacking his physical appearance.
Listen, we've got he's our Ken. And
He's our kid.
He is.
I did see
Man's
Barbie.
straight adorable.
Oh, that's
clearly the Duke
hilarious.
did
I forgave you, the Duke.
All
forgive you.
right.
The DM King, I call him now, but I digress.
Duke 811, I hope you had a good time out there today. Keys, $5. Sub CHGO family. I really believe if Claypool hits his ceiling, we'll have a top 10 receiving core for sure.
Ooh, top 10? I think it's
Let's
I
go.
think it's doable.
We got the Bengals, Chiefs, Eagles,
Vikings with Justin.
Vikings.
We're probably just
You-
blatantly missing people that we should have in here.
Bills.
Sure. I haven't
Bill-
even done
Bills
a
are in there.
I haven't even done a fantasy draft yet.
What's that?
I said I haven't even done a fantasy draft yet to try to
Seahawks?
figure this out.
Yep, there you go. Now we're getting
Chargers.
The fact that it's even a conversation is an amazing.
Well,
move.
again, there are only one of 4 teams in the whole NFL to
Dolphins.
have 3
Dolphins.
wide
And Eagles.
receivers
I
that have
put
had
Eagles in.
850 yards or more in a single season in their career.
I think that's a good
one of
take by
4.
Keys. I think that's a good call by Keys. If he hits his ceiling, I'm not worried about DJ. I'm not worried about Moon. It's Claypool. That's why I'm doing the Chase Claypool meter.
Well,
They
that's what
need
I was
him
gonna
to be
ask
a
you,
major
Herb.
contributor. And if he is, I'm on board with
So
Keys.
you're at what, 70%?
I'm at 71% today. I gave him an extra
71%?
point bonus for being 10 straight practices full participant.
What percentage is Chase Claypool's ceiling?
I mean, I'll never get to 100, but if he's at like 90 by week 1, that's money. Like if I believe in him 90% by week 1, because I'm not an easy grab. I'm like, oh, he caught a couple balls today, give him 5 more percent. That's like, okay, that's 2% bump, 2% bump, 3%
Fragile.
bump here. I gave him a nice bump for having a fight with Eddie Jackson. I like that little fire, right?
Me and Elise, we want the 5% bump.
At least wants like a 10% bump every day. At least wants me to be at like 7,000% by the time camp is done. It's like, what do you want me to do?
The meter
but
will
no,
be done.
listen, if he's up around 90 by the time week 1 rolls around, that's in a really good place, and that's obviously me being a big believer, and I think this offense will be better for it.
I'll tell you one thing. He's open a lot more than he's getting the football. Justin,
Agreed.
He
Yeah.
is.
Agreed.
There's opportunities there that have not been leaned into. A couple more super chats here, Greg. Let's do 1999 with Tyler Vaughn. Tyler, appreciate you. Let's see. Hey, boys, I just found out a friend of mine got us tickets to the game in Tampa. That's awesome. We're at the 50-yard line behind the Bears sidelines. I'm so excited. It's my first NFL game at 26. Any advice or tips? Also, anyone else going to be there? Dude, that's amazing. First of all, the fact that you waited 26 to go and that you got sweet seats, and Bears of the Bucks, very winnable game for the Bear.
Yeah.
Advice, team, get there early, enjoy the full experience.
Definitely enjoy the full experience. If you're into the tailgating, get out there. Tailgating is fun, especially being in Tampa. It'll be good weather. Maybe a little hot, actually. That's
Honestly,
like
yeah.
what, week 2?
Yep.
Yeah, it may be pretty hot out there still, but get out there early, enjoy the tailgating, hang out with the fans, brush some shoulders with the people, and just take it all in. Enjoy yourself, man. We'll be down there.
Yeah. I would say definitely get there early, take a bunch of pictures, enjoy your experience there. I'm sure I'll be there so maybe I can run into you, Tyler, even though
And-
I've had a bad rep of not meeting fans out at certain
Hollywood.
locations.
It's because you're so focused. Game day is different.
Game day is a little bit
Game day is
different.
It's hard. You go with good intentions and
Yes.
say like, okay, hey, we're gonna meet. We're gonna say, hey, we're gonna do the picture thing. Cool. But if it doesn't happen by
When
a
it
certain
happens,
time
yep.
before the game,
Right.
then it's just probably not gonna happen, because once I get upstairs, this idea of coming downstairs at halftime or something like that is just not real.
No.
It takes longer than that to get back upstairs. I'm gonna miss the opening kickoff of the second half, and after the game, it's a sprint downstairs into the locker room, get to press conferences, and then all the fans are gone. So it has to happen at least, if it's a 12 o'clock kickoff, it's got to happen by 10 a.m. or it's probably not going to happen.
Yep. very
Am
true.
I allowed to say with my family here? Sources have told me the nightclub scene in Tampa is good. I'm just saying. I'm not gonna say what kind of nightclubs. I'm just saying the clubs. They're very nice. That's what I've heard.
They're very
You're
nice.
saying
That's what I've heard.
adult entertainment in Tampa is amazing?
Reportedly, I did not say anything about adults.
Allegedly,
Very nice. Very nice.
This is a professional show. We don't do that type of stuff.
allegedly the clothing optional places are
Very nice.
lit in Tampa. I don't know. I've been trying to get Nick to go out with me on the road for a couple years now. Nick is buttoned up. Nick's like, no, I gotta get outside. I gotta be up early. I'm like, Nick, we'll roll into the stadium when we roll into the stadium.
Wait, what happened? I know in Minnesota.
No, that's true. No,
Hey, Nick can hang.
Minnesota.
Nick can hang. Me
I
and
don't
him at
doubt
the
that.
combine, we were killing it the last few nights.
The only thing I know about Tampa is that if you drive about 45 minutes north to Wesley Chapel, that is where Saddlebrook Tennis Resort is, and you can get yourself a great day over there and just get your game to the next level.
Okay.
That's the only thing I know about Tampa.
All right.
So I would go up there and work on that. All right, a couple more super chats. Tatum Weston, $4.99, was working Fam Fest. Couldn't watch much of the practice. Love your coverage. Keep up the good work. Tatum, we appreciate
you.
everybody out there who comes and supports those things. You guys don't get enough love, so thank you for making it a great day for a bunch of fans. That's awesome. Let's see. We've got, the Duke's coming in with another one. I love when the Duke goes double time. All right, there you go, Gregory. $49.99. The Duke 811. Nick, as my wife is infatuated with you, Ken, you should be happy I give you any compliment at all, you handsome man, you. But therefore, she's never allowed to meet you. Okay, for real, I watched Jordan Love's Family Fest. Fields is on such another level. There it is.
The Duke is amazing.
The Duke is amazing. Listen.
Appreciate you.
Listen, I hit Nick at the top of my softball lineup. It's not because he gets base hits. I just want to look good to the other team. I want him to stand.
One of those first guy off the bus type of things?
Yes, I want you to be intimidated by how good looking our team is. Nick, second. Let's go. Bang.
I wish I could hit better.
You be getting knocks too. Who's next? Can I get Ronetta in here?
Of course we can. She was.
I know she was out there living the dream. Ronetta, I miss you. $5. Had a blast at Family Fest. Now catching up. Missed y'all there. And what's up, Herb?
Ronetta, what's going on, love?
We
She's the best.
we were soft today. We're all the way up top. We're in this quiet press
Your
spot.
ivory tower.
Yeah,
While we're all getting rained on.
I walked from
I don't want to hear it.
South Loop there. I got rained on my way in. Yeah, all right. Football, CF Candy, $1.99. Mooney, in my opinion, looked sharper. Going to cook in the slot.
He had a nice one-handed grab in the one-on-ones.
Yeah, the first catch of the first rep he had.
He looks healthy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was never worried about Moon coming back healthy. Just the type of worker that he is, the work ethic that he has. I mean, of course, the whole big story about the first thing he bought was the jugs machine, but just how he goes about his business, I was never concerned about. Like, if it was an injury he could recover from, I knew he would come back as close to 100% as he could, and I had no concerns about him. So,
but again, not much in 11-on-11s yet. We're seeing a lot of 1-on-1, 7-on-7s. And nothing, because we know Mooney's capable of the moonshot with Justin Fields. Again, a guy we haven't seen go deep yet. And it's fine. I know Justin Fields needs to hit the intermediate, get the ball out quick, take what the defense gives you. I get it. But, I want home run balls, too. We go to camp, and I want to see some fireworks.
I think it's the collective offense, like all 11 guys, and I think that's what's going to take some time. Individually, I don't think you can really debate the talent that they have in terms of skill, guys. But putting it all together, right? The spacing, the timing of these guys running routes off each other. Do I break inside? Do you break outside? Who goes over the top? Who goes under? Those types of things that kind of you need to adjust on the fly sometimes. It could be written up one way in the playbook, but having that chemistry to just kind of change on the fly, I think those types of things just take a little bit of time, getting that chemistry with the offensive line, having all 5 of those guys get all those reps with which they're missing right now, which is, I don't know when Nate Davis is going to come back.
Well, let me ask you this, Herb. Are they going to run defenses at camp against Justin Fields that are to stop Justin Fields at what he does great? Like, are they specifically showing him looks that they're going to see constantly from, or are they trying to run things that they're going to, because they're not facing Justin Fields in the season. So
past couple of days, they've been doing a lot of scout team. Right, and that's not obviously the scout team. That's not against the ones, defensively speaking, right? But they've been doing a lot of scout team where they send the first team defense over there and they give them scout looks from a different offense, and then there's a scout team defense that's giving Justin specific looks that they want him to look at. Now, I don't know if those are designed to attack his skill set or if they're designed to say, hey, this is what the Packers do, this is what the Vikings do, this is what the Lions do. But they've been doing a lot more scout team work over the past couple of days. So hopefully that continues, and it'll force him to kind of find the answers to those questions sooner.
Well, I know Justin, he's actually talking about, like, the defense throwing a bunch of different coverages at him, too. So that's just going to make him better at processing what exactly a defense could be in post-snap, pre-snap. And, when it's in game, that he's going to see a lot of those kind of changes happen as soon as the snap happens. So I think they're obviously doing stuff that's going to best prepare him for the season, but it's good that the defense is showing him different looks right now.
Yeah. Breaking news from our breaking news correspondent, Gary Ross. The Minnesota Vikings have signed wide receiver N'Keal Harry.
Oh, my God. What is Jalen Johnson going to do?
N'Keal Harry in the division, man.
Wrap it up. Season's over.
No, we're joking, but I think, listen, we talked about them being one of those teams that have a top 10 receiving core. So he's not going to be the guy that you're game planning for, but he has a good skill set. He's a big guy. We saw him all walking around the locker room last year. Like, that dude he plays the same position as Mooney. That's crazy.
That's
right?
nuts, yeah.
Like, Mooney told me that last year. He's like, I saw that dude. He's like, he played the same thing I play. Like, that's crazy.
Like a linebacker, man.
Yeah, he's huge. But so I think, there could be some opportunities for him, with all the attention that those other guys get.
Last two super chats that are in there, if I can, I think we had a $4.99er. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, from Bob Kerwin. Bob, appreciate you not talking, but just supporting the show. That's A-OK with us. Thank you so much, Bob. And then one more from Football CF Candy. I spoke to a scout who said coaches know after a certain amount of time in camp how many wins a team will get. When do you think we will get to that point?
When the team's actually healthy and has like all their players out there, maybe, but I don't think you're getting to that point after the second week of camp.
And respect to that scout, CF, but they're not gods. They don't know how this thing's going to play out.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I mean, you talk about injuries, you talk about all these different intangibles. I think any coach always is going to look at the schedule and they say, okay, this is a more winnable game than that one is. If you're just being honest with yourself, that's not something they're ever going to say publicly. But to say they know exactly how the season's going to pan out, wins and losses, that's just
right.
That's not true.
Got to play the game. Philosophy also in there, $5. Appreciate you, Philosophy. Good to see you as always. I've always wanted the fan base to embrace Mooney whenever he catches the ball by yelling "Moon,"
like they do Cooper Kupp.
Like Luke Longley.
They do it for Cooper Kupp. Hashtag Bears wish.
Yeah.
You know what? We got to step up our game here in this fandom.
What do you want?
Ooh.
And not necessarily Bears fans. I'm because I haven't seen a game in a while. But the other night I'm out at Wrigley Field. Okay. Cubs are playing the Reds. They had lost the night before.
Yeah.
They just went out and, added on, got Heimer Candelario, not selling off. Cubs are going for it.
Dropped 30 on the Reds.
Dropped 30 on the Reds. In the first inning, they dropped 5.
Right.
What happens at the end of that first inning? What should happen?
Standing ovation?
That's right. Standing ass ovation. That's what you do if you're engaged.
Agreed.
There was like 3 people cheering. Hey, what kind of fandom are we turning into? This is not the Dodgers. You score 5 in the first.
Yeah, you
get
up.
A standing O.
No doubt.
And you created it. Come on.
I think they're starting to get a little bit of pennant fever up there, so I think you'll start to see more of that.
Yeah,
they were up last time we checked. I don't know how they're doing right now, but hopefully they're still hanging on.
But for a Bear fan, if we get the Moon going on, which we haven't had like every time he catches it, so like there's just ringing throughout.
Yeah,
that'd be sweet.
Would be sweet.
I think that's a terrible idea. Now,
you're kidding, right?
Not the meatball guys. Like that's a terrible idea.
My bad. All right, going back to Meatball Island. My other observation, it was almost going to be my worst, but I figured I'd stick to football. But now that we're at the end of the show and we're getting goofy here, you guys taking notice in this touchdown celebration that's starting to become a thing?
Did you just subtweet me for saying my favorite thing was the little girls at the podium?
Yeah, I just did.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Have you guys been noticing
where it's like the chest?
Yeah, they're like
the
hands behind the head. It's starting to become a thing.
Yeah, I don't like it.
And I don't like it.
I think it's DJ Moore's thing because they all did it to him.
Well, they've been doing it with Chase Claypool.
They did it with Chase the other when Chase was dominating camp at Hallis Hall.
No, I have noticed that though. They've been doing a lot of the chest bump. They put their hands behind their back,
up,
and then they
just like a bump.
Chest bump.
I saw it. I
think they need to. It's training camp. For all facets of the game.
True.
I think we need to work on this.
One more breaking news moment.
Yep.
As Gary Ross is putting in the chat 5 times now. Justin Houston to the Carolina Panthers.
The Bears will
So
face Justin Houston.
that's
0-17.
That's breaking on two sides. One that is an addition to Carolina, which we don't want because we have their draft pick. Not that it's a premium edition, but Justin Houston is 34 years old, and for whatever reason,
He's capable of getting 10 sacks.
he's capable of getting 10
Yes, he
sacks,
is.
which a lot of people were hoping the Bears were going to sign 2. Justin Houston has connections with Poles going back to Kansas City.
Sure.
I thought he made a ton of sense on a 1-year deal. Bears obviously felt differently. He goes to Carolina.
Yeah.
That's
Listen.
not good. We're trying to get the Panthers to lose as many games as possible. We should have got Justin Houston just to keep him from the Panthers so we could secure that top 5 pick.
I think the GM, he just doesn't want the trade to look bad on him. So he's like, I don't want to give up like a top 5 pick for it next year. Like, so I'm going to go as hard as I can. They aren't going to be legitimate contenders, but if he can get that pick up to like 15 or something like that, then he looks a little bit better than he does if it's a top 5 pick.
I mean, a lot of people have Carolina win the South.
It's not hard.
It's a very wide
like
open
the
division.
North. It's a very winnable
Wide
division.
open.
Yeah. So, all right, no problem.
And then we play the South this year, which is like, I mean, you want to beat the Falcons, you want to beat the Saints, and you want to beat who's the other team in the South?
We got Atlanta.
The Buccaneers. You want to beat Tampa, like, but it's like you beat all 3 of those teams, you're helping out the Panthers, and you beat them too, but still.
True.
Yeah, I mean, you can't worry about that.
No, you can't, clearly, but I'm
Go
just
win.
saying.
Just when they play Carolina, please win that football game.
It's a Thursday night game, right?
Thursday night.
Nighttime.
It'll be interesting.
Got to win that one, and Justin has to outplay
Oh my
one
God,
Bryce Young.
yeah. If he doesn't.
He absolutely must outplay
Oh,
Bryce
boy.
Young, or
Oh, boy.
the sirens will get loud.
Very, very loud. Keith Riggle, 17-0. I see you, buddy. That's exactly right. We're rolling. We're rolling all the way. Programming note: no show tomorrow because there's no practice. We are back Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. After, of course, doing post-game show after Bears and Tennessee at the great, historic, amazing, was awesome to be there. Soldier Field, keep the Bears in the city. Really enjoyed myself today. Herb, always awesome to have you in here, sir.
Yes. No, it was a pleasure for you guys. I was just trying to hitchhike a ride away from the stadium, and I ended up here with you guys, and it's always a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
Just drove you right to the studio and put you on the show.
Come
Let's
on,
go.
we can put you to work.
Love to talk ball with y'all. Thanks for having me.
Nick,
Mark?
good to be with you, buddy.
Oh, it's always good to be with you, Mark.
Yeah, enjoy your off day tomorrow. Braggs and Barb, both wearing brick by bricks. This is maybe the most adorable thing I've ever seen. Seriously,
Looks great.
Taking a picture.
I mean, really,
back
look at
moment
this.
right
I
here.
mean,
Best of the day right
look
here.
at these two.
That's
I'm
awesome.
putting that up on the Twitter right now.
That's right.
And yeah,
Carm, Hooters right now?
I'm in.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Yeah, watch the end of the Cubbies. Call it a day. All right, we'll see you on Tuesday from the Mansion.
The Mansion. Yes,
It'll be a
back.
3 o'clock show on Tuesday from Mansion address. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Appreciate everybody who was in the chat. Appreciate everybody who threw a like in there. If you haven't, throw it on the way out. And, bear the hell down.